This is the book of Nahum, chapter 1, starting at verse 1, and it reads, The burden of Nineveh, the book of the vision of the Slaki, the book of the vision of Nahum, the Elkashite. When you go into burden, it basically goes into prophecy. The Most High is jealous, and the Lord Yahweh by Hashem Yahushai revengeth. The Lord Yahweh by Hashem Yahushai revengeth, and is furious. The Lord Yahweh by Hashem Yahushai will take vengeance on his adversaries, and he reserveth wrath for his enemies. Verse 3, the point. The Lord Yahweh by Hashem Yahushai is slow to anger and great in power, and will not at all acquit the wicked. The Lord Yahweh by Hashem Yahushai hath his way in the whirlwind and in the storm, and the clouds are the dust of his feet. I'm going to start off by giving all praise, all honor, and all glory to Call Loyim La Yahweh by Hashem Yahushai by Hashem Kodesh Baruch Thumb. I'm going to say double honors to the elders, to the apostles of the great millstone, do teach and rule well. Peace and salutations to the Akim across the four corners of the earth, pushing his truth with faith and with sincerity, as well as risking their lives and their freedom to do so now more so than ever. Shalom to the Akim and the Aquat out there listening and learning. Lord willingly, this is edifying. Shalom to the Israelite foreigners scattered abroad in the land of other nations, appearing like the other nations, but whom subscribe to this truth. To you, I say Shalom. It's the brother Yahweh coming at you another lesson through the Spirit and through the power of Yahweh by Hashem Yahushai. This lesson is in regards to an article I seen. I was speaking on hurricane season and whatnot, and it's so spiritual because, they was talking about a few of them hurricanes pretty much, I had a list of them because I didn't know that they pretty much pre-named their hurricanes. And so, or tropical storms or whatever, or the different whirlwinds and tempests. So I came across that information and I was following. I think they had one called Oscar. They had a few. The ones that did the major damage was Helene and Milton, and I think it was one named Debbie, like beginning of hurricane season. Nonetheless, you had the Nadine one, and pretty much Nadine became a hurricane, but then it basically fizzled out. I think it only became like a category 1. But showing you how the Most High controls everything, at the end of the day, is another one. It's actually 2. I didn't even. So it's maybe because I'm like, where's this? Why is this not being made known? But it says Hurricane Christy strengthens into powerful Category 5 storm. So this is dated October 24th. So that would be what Thursday. It says Hurricane Christy has strengthened into a Category 5 storm in the Pacific Ocean, forecasters said on Thursday. Now I remember. Usually they could go in the alphabetic order, but for whatever reason they not. Like, so I don't know if they just purposely keeping it like, the information is power, and that's why they do misinformation. Yeah. I forgot who said that, Karl Marx. But he also said something about blaming your enemies for shit that you're doing. You know what I mean? Like, these motherfucking devils. It says Christy formed from the remnants of Atlantic tropical storm Nadine. So Nadine basically it was supposed that they thought it was gonna hit Florida, but it basically went through like the Bahamas and Bermuda and shit like that. It says so basically Nadine fizzled out, but the remnants of that spiritual was the remnant, and the remnant is basically fucking up Esau's system now because the remnant is those that actually know and came back to the wisdom, knowledge, and understanding of the scriptures and know that they're Israel or they're Israelites, you know what I'm saying? And pretty much, the prophets going to be of that remnant and they're going to be out proclaiming the truth. So we kind of, in a sense, spiritual hurricanes tearing up this place spiritually. But it says, Christy formed from the remnants of Atlantic tropical storm Nadine earlier this week is moving westward across the eastern Pacific. The National Hurricane Center on Thursday said Christy's maximum sustained winds have increased to near 160 miles per hour with higher gusts. Where's Hurricane Christy now? The storm has been veering off to the west, and forecasters expect it to keep a westward to west-northwestern moving through the day. The NHC has predicted Christy will then go in the northwest to northwest motion on Friday. Now, today is Saturday, and you can see the eye of the storm right there. Says NOAA satellite image of Hurricane Christy has intensified. It says Christy is not expected to impact the U.S. However, it may cause dangerous waves off the coast of Baja California, and Mexico. So, that's the Lord really showing mercy, because I was saying, like, I didn't know that pretty much it was 3 hurricanes that hit Florida this year. And I was like, well, 4 is usually mercy, and you got brothers in Florida. So, at the end of the day, as much as we, be expecting and hoping for judgment, the Lord actually has mercy as well, because he's dual nature, you know what I mean? And then, like I said, you don't know how certain things are impacting certain brothers, you know what I mean? A brother might lose a car, and you don't know how that affects his whole daily move and walk in his life, you know what I'm saying? So, you got to take certain things into consideration. But, when it's time for judgment, the Lord's going to judge. Matter of fact, let me get that. The book of Zephaniah chapter 3, and it's verse 5, and it reads, the Lord, Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushua, is in the midst thereof, he will not do iniquity. Every morning doth he bring his judgment to light. He fail not, but the unjust knoweth no shame. So it tells you that Most High God is judging every day. But and every day he bring it to light. But the unjust knoweth no shame. The unjust won't understand the Lord's judgment. The Lord might take out a child, you know what I mean? You like, oh, I've heard Boosie say that shit, and then he wondering why, it's cold because Boosie don't like homosexuals, but his daughter's a good homosexual. I know that fucked his heart up, you know what I'm saying? So, the Lord might not get you per se, he might get something you love and let you live, you know what I'm saying? Because everything, it tells you in the book of Ecclesiasticus, all things obey his will. Everything serves his purpose. The Lord created everything perfect too. The righteous and the wicked. Because he said it, he created it perfectly and for his purpose. It says, swells generated by Christie will affect portions of the west coast of Baja California Peninsula late this week and over the weekend. So these swells are likely to cause life-threatening surf and rip current conditions. Oh, but you're going to still have stupid-ass people trying to go out there and surf. Okay, so it's another one, though. I just saw it's a recent article about another hurricane. Hurricane Patty. So Christie and then Patty, but you just had Milton. So how is they going backwards? So it's confusing for real. Like, I don't know what the fuck they doing. It says, hurricane watchers issue advanced risk warning for Storm Patty that could hit the U.S. Meteorologists are tracking an area of potential tropical storm development in the Caribbean that could send another hurricane barreling toward Florida. Tropical Storm Patty could form in the western and central region of the sea as early as next week, with a formation window of October 30th to November 2nd. And, and the thing is, hurricane season is not over with until November 30th. So call Loyam Layab Bashim Al-Shah. And if it's the will of the Lord, he going to send another one. So I read Nahum. I'm going to start at Isaiah chapter 29 and verse 6. And it reads, Thou shalt be visited of the Lord, Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushua of hosts, with thunder and with earthquake and great noise, with storm and tempest and the flame of devouring fire. So you got storms like they said, the tropical storm, which was Nadine, but you got tempest that was like Hurricane Katrina or Hurricane Helene, And it's funny too, showing you how goofy these people is, because they are literally name these storms after a woman, because they talk about hell have no fury like a woman scorned and all that old shit. But, when you actually understand the scriptures, they talk about the father. Where the woman at? Again, and I'm not being an asshole. I love a woman that's in her right mind and her, in her right power, because that's her power, her femininity, And I understand women like these men ain't men no more. That's showing you allowing a devil to rule. Because when it get bad and a woman that thinks she a man want to go back to the place of being a woman, no. What the dude said, I think killed his baby mama or his woman something. And basically when the police was questioning him, they say, why didn't you go back and check? He said he thought she would be all right because she's a strong, independent woman. And it's funny, but it ain't fucking funny, you know what I'm saying? Like, but the scriptures talk about how the Lord gonna laugh at you. Like, at the end of the day, like, you want to be you strong motherfucker, well, go, okay, here. You know what I'm saying? And he was serious with it, like a cold-hearted spirit. He probably was not even being funny. He was serious. You know what I'm saying? And the scriptures talk about in the book of Matthew chapter 24, the love of many waxing cold. When you go into that word cold, it means psycho. So you look how psychotic these people was getting. You got mothers killing, like if you can't, but you can't tell a nigga or a person that got spirits on them. You know what I mean? Like people really don't. People looking at us weird when when people that is really into the scriptures looking at these people weird. You know what I mean? And the thing is, if you really know the scriptures, everybody ain't getting saved. That's some shit that the pastor tell you that's not true. I can show you multiple scriptures where the Lord say, I'm dealing with a remnant, a small sanctuary. And you know what I mean? Like everybody, that's why the Bible talk about people is not going to believe. You're going to have people scoffing. And then you really see these things. It's not cool. That's why when a motherfucker tell me that they don't believe in the Bible, I don't get shocked or give a fuck. You act like you hurting me, but you really disrespecting the Most High God. And guess what? The scariest part is he set you up not to believe so he can destroy you. Ain't that some fucked up shit? Stay far away from me. Your motherfucker that say, you know what I mean? Like, motherfucker don't believe. It's a scripture in the book of Romans chapter 3 says, so what if something did not believe? Do it make pretty much going to do it mean that the Most High, what the Most High say, not gonna come to effect? Is it not gonna happen? We watching the Bible live out right now. Salakia, what do you want? So I mean, again, like I said, the scriptures talk about everybody setting their lot. In the book of Jeremiah chapter 15, it said that those for the sword basically lead them to the sword, and those for the captivity, and those for the famine, to the famine. The Lord saying, if I set you up for death, if you set up to starve to death, that's what you're going to do. If you set up to get killed by the sword, that's what you're going to do. People don't really understand the power and the God of the Bible. You got to understand really. If you really like what everybody think they got all this deep ass knowledge, do you know that they actually found Noah's Ark? They found it. Been found it. Years ago, decades ago. When I was locked up in the workhouse, I came across a book that talked about them fucking finding it. Show you how much demonic the demon I was dealing with, my children's mother, that bitch threw the book away. I knew that she had demons on her, and I'm a dumbass trying to fight for it and all that. I'm gonna fight Satan, stupid ass nigga. Like I was just listening to the elder fires going on in Wyoming. Talking about to the point where it's like damn near citywide. Ain't none of that getting no news coverage though. And then you people still trusting this fucked up ass place. I remember the news came to my motherfucking mother house one time over some stupid shit. It's a movie called The Bronx Tale, and the little boy asked the OG gangster, he said, what would you rather be, feared or loved? And he said, I'd rather be feared because fear lasts longer than love. And that's the fucking truth. Me then, 2nd Ezra chapter 9 and verse 1. He answered me then and said, measure thou the time diligently in itself, and when thou seest part of the signs pass, which I have told thee before. How are we measuring the time and the signs? By the scriptures. The scriptures said these things are going to happen at when the end of the world, or when certain, scriptures talk about, look above, your redemption draweth nigh. Like literally, it's going to be certain things going on in the planet that you're supposed to match up with the scriptures, and then you'll know what time you're living in. Verse 2, then shalt thou understand that it's the very, like when you take time to think about it, Matthew chapter 24, when the Messiah, who you ignorantly call Jesus Christ, but whose true name in the Hebrew is Yahweh Shai Hamashiach, meaning he saved or he delivered. He was talking to the disciples, and pretty much he said, you see the temple? He said, very much this temple going to be destroyed. So they looking at the temple, and then guess what? The temple got destroyed. But that's twofold. The scriptures talk about the devil coming out with great wrath. This devil literally just passed legislation. They sending these migrants into certain neighborhoods. I go wash like a couple blocks away from where I stay at. It's all kind of migrants coming there and wash. So that means it's migrants in these neighborhoods. And if he's talking about coming to pretty much get the migrants, you don't think he coming into Jake neighborhoods where these migrants look like you? Y'all gonna learn that this man is the fucking devil. This man has never did nothing righteous for you. And you got stupid ass niggas talking about niggas for Trump. They got an actual organization called Niggas for Trump. When Trump don't even like niggas. Salakia. It says, then shalt thou understand that it's the very same time wherein the highest will begin to visit the world which he made. And I just told you how he visited it. He said he would visit the world about storm and tempest, earthquakes, thunder and loud noise, and devouring fire. So all these different judgments, that's how the Lord visited in this place. Verse 3, therefore when there shall be seen earthquakes and uproars of the people in the world. Listen, this man caused an insurrection. To show you how this shit is set up, and for those that don't see, like if you ever seen that movie, They Live, it was certain men that could see what the fuck the world was really like while certain people couldn't. And that's how this truth is equated to. I saw that movie, you know what I mean? Like, it's funny how, a lot of brothers is into the same thing. That's a spirit. Just like you got a lot of niggas into the streets. That's a spirit on them niggas. But that man caused an insurrection, you know what I'm saying? And they still letting him be the president? Did you know that literally no individual basically charged with holding an insurrection can be president? Did you know that? So what are they really doing? Because pretty much they can let him win and then turn around and be like, oh no, you can't really be the president. And then guess what? What do you think them good old boys gonna do? If they did what they did on January 6th, what the fuck you think they gonna do if they say this man ain't gonna be president? Do you know that they've been finding niggas hanging on swing sets and shit like that? Like it was just a nigga that was hanging in Cleveland Heights like a couple years ago. In Cain Park. And that's spiritual because you go into Cain and Abel and who they represent in the spirit. It says, therefore, when there should be seen earthquakes and uproars of the people in the world. I think we started this year off with a major earthquake to the point that it affected the U.S. I remember the elder was talking about, I was doing a video when I felt it. make you feel like, make that power, that uplifts us. I know he got a spiritual boost from that. Verse 4, then shalt thou well understand that the Most High spake of those things from the days that were before thee, even from the beginning. Verse 5, for like as all that is made in the world hath a beginning and an end, and the end is manifest. When you go into the word manifest, it means to suddenly appear. If you can't see that we at the end and the Lord got you blinded on purpose, and he pretty much want to destroy you, that's cold. Because, knowledge is pretty much knowing, and to have knowledge of something gives you an opportunity. That's why they say knowing is half the battle, which it is. But if the Lord ain't with you, it don't matter how much you know. You got men that's in this truth that's not of the elect, that's not going to be saved. Verse 13, the point. Second Ezra chapter 9 and verse 13. And therefore be thou not curious how the ungodly shall be punished and when, but inquire how the righteous shall be saved, whose the world is and for whom the world is created. So I can't concern myself about how the Lord gonna keep on judging you people. You know, I met a few different females, and you know, my spirit, I'm literally trying to help you, not trying to literally, I know all this. Half the time I don't even tell a motherfucker how much I know. You know what I'm saying? Because it's always an issue. You might say something to a nigga, the nigga get offended because he chose not to go look up nothing, or you know what I mean? Like the fuck? I get it too with you because I know this and you don't. So the thing is, that's how much of a difficult task the Lord gave us. But it's like, the thing is, it's not even about us waking nobody up. It's the Lord testing us to see if we gonna do it. So my job is to simply relay the information. I'm a messenger. And at the end of the day, the Lord is gonna be with his elect. This is the book of Psalm chapter 31 and verse 23, and it reads, Oh Lord, Salakia, slip of the tongue went out of the heart. Oh, love the Lord Yahweh Bashim Yahushua, all ye his saints. And it tells you in the book of Psalms who the saints are. It's not a Mother Teresa Gandhi or none of these people. For what's about to come and take place. Again, we believe so wholeheartedly because we know the scriptures. You know, that's not being proud. You know, what they say in the movie 300, you know, what's your occupation? Their occupation was war. Our occupation is, you know, spiritual warfare in these scriptures, because this place is a wicked ass place. And when you take the time to really like see it for what it is, you gonna hate this place. The scriptures, David said, don't I hate thee that hate thee? These people hate the Lord. Scriptures talk about follow not a multitude to do evil. Their place is an evil ass place. Look, they not even hiding this shit no more. You gonna come to find out more and more of the people you look up to, these punk ass celebrities, is fucking sodomites and faggots and shit like that. And then you got children and shit looking up to these people. So I ask the Lord to continue sending judgment every day. I'm going to start doing a prayer when I pray for the brotherhood and the brethren and my household and all that. I'm going to pray that the Lord send fucking judgment. Because you can't destroy this place quick enough for me, but it's not my choice, it's the Lord's. So with that, I want to give all praise, all honor, and all glory to, it's not my will, it's the Lord's will, Salakia. It's not my will be done, it's the Lord's will be done. And with that, I want to give all praise, all honor, and all glory to call Loyam La Yahweh, by Hashem Yahushai, by Hashem. Double honors to the elders and to the apostles of the great millstone who do teach and rule well. Peace and salutations to the Akim across the four corners of the earth, pushing this truth with faith and with sincerity, as well as risking their lives and their freedom to do so now more so than ever. Shalom to the Akim and the Akwat out there listening and learning. Lord willingly, this is edifying. Shalom to the Israelite foreigners scattered abroad in the land of other nations, appearing like the other nations, but who subscribe to this truth. To you, I say shalom. Till next time I'm able to come with another lesson, I say shalom, shalom, Kwam Yasharallah, and Mawakla Babal. Shalom.